Alright guys, in this video I'm going to go over my Google Domination strategy, and I'm going to give you an overview of how this actually works on a theoretical level and why I combine all the factors I combine together to get the results from Google search, as opposed to, let's say, just doing SEO or just doing Google ads, because all these things are actually complementary, and I'm going to explain how that works in this video. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go over it from the perspective of if you were doing this for a lead generation type funnel. So you're trying to get leads for, let's say, a local business or something like that. The same principle would apply for, let's say, an e-commerce business. However, instead of doing the local search result type optimizations, for example, the Google business profile, you'd instead be doing Google shopping, and that's kind of the equivalent there. So with that in mind, let's get straight into it. So basically, when it comes to Google search, there are two ways that you can get traffic, which is either paid or organic. And then within organic, you have the SERPs, which is the regular search results that just show up like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have, I'm just going to put local or / the map, which is basically the Google Maps. Now, like I said, if you're doing e-commerce, this would be, I'm just going to put shopping here instead of the map, because you would be essentially doing this with shopping as opposed to map. That's the third way you can get, or the second organic way you can get traffic from Google. Now, the thing with these two is they're actually very interesting because they're very complementary. And what I mean by that is organic equals, let's just go O equals long but unlimited, and paid equals quick but limited. And so they actually work perfectly together. Now, what I mean by limited is that you're limited by the budget you have for paid, and eventually you will essentially hit a cap where it's no longer profitable to continue paying for more different keywords as you expand out. And I'm going to go into that in a minute as part of this theory. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But with organic, you're basically unlimited because you're not paying for the traffic or paying for the specific clicks. You can basically try and get as many clicks as you want, and it's never really going to hurt you to continue to get more traffic to the site. It might just not benefit you essentially, and maybe at some point you'll have you could have invested that time in a better angle. But the point with these two is that these two actually complement each other. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll see this graph I draw, which goes like this, right? So let's say that paid is the red line. What happens is you launch it and you get results quick, but then it basically tapers off like this, maybe a slight incline as you improve it, but essentially it tapers off unless you keep pumping money into it. What happens with SEO is you'll start down here. It'll take you a couple months to start getting anything. It'll start looking like this, but eventually it'll start climbing like this, and soon enough it goes like that, and then it keeps going up. And essentially there's no limit to what this is. It just gets to the point where eventually you will basically max out your niche, and then you'll no longer be getting relevant traffic and you have to start expanding more. But that's beyond the scope of this video. Now, what will happen is when you combine these two, what happens is you get this initial spike first, and you're running the ads and it's going, but this starts to lift as the SEO starts to lift. And as you can see here, basically what's happening is you start getting the benefit of these two combined at an earlier stage. And then, so you can continue running the ads without increasing your budget, but it goes up because of the SEO combined with the Google ads. You get the organic traffic and the paid traffic. You don't spend more money on the paid, and it continues to go up like this, and it doesn't actually cost you anymore. And that's the key factor here. So this is basically what that looks like when you combine these together. Now, I'll show you how you actually go about doing this. So what happens is you want to first start with very high intent paid traffic, and that's how you get that first spike on the keyword, how you get that first spike on that little graph that I just showed you. So number one is high intent paid traffic. And so what happens there is you immediately start getting traffic that's very likely to convert to your website. And that would be things like, let's say, family lawyer near me, or let's say, for example, if it's more e-commerce store, it'd be like buy men's shoes online, something like that, right? The keywords like this. And so what happens is these are about as high intent of a keyword as you can get. Someone is indicating through the words they're using to search on Google that they're very interested in what you're selling. And so what you do is you run ads for these most high intent keywords here, which are most likely to convert into actual money for your business, and you immediately start making sales, right? And you make money straight away, and ideally a return on your ad spend. And so then that's step one. Then the next step, what you do is on organic side, what you want to do is go for the maps So slash Google business profile, because this is a pretty quick one if you get it right. You want to put your Google business profile, and this is the step 1 of organic traffic, because what happens here is you get organic traffic and you can show up in the Google business pack pretty quickly if you do this right. And so you start getting organic traffic as well as the high intent paid traffic very quickly. Now, for an e-com store, this would be shopping. So I'll just put slash shopping here. And you want to get, if you can get your shopping listings showing up quickly as well, you can get organic shopping traffic, which is essentially sort of similar, but for e-com brands. And so what that does is now you're paying for clicks and you're ideally converting this traffic. And now you're also showing up in the Google business profile and the shopping ads. Now, with these, you don't have as much control over what's happening, and that's the downside of them. However, what you do have is they're relatively quick for organic traffic. So it'll give a bit of a boost to the high intent paid traffic. Then the third step is you want to start optimizing your website. First, the very first thing you want to do is go high intent organic traffic, which basically means you want to, and I'm just going to put SEO here, you want to optimize your site for these types of keywords. So I'm just going to put an arrow like that, because you need to rank. If these are profitable in Google Ads, they're obviously a good idea to rank for free, ultimately free, with Google search. So you want to optimize your website to rank for these commercial keywords as well, because they're the ones that are going to get you the most profit return from SEO that's going to be as immediate as you can. So the first thing you need to do is optimize your entire website to actually be able to rank for these keywords. And I'll talk about that in some of my other videos. That's kind of beyond the scope of this video, how you do that. But essentially, that's what you need to do. And now the thing you need to note about these keywords is that these are going to be the most competitive and usually the hardest to rank for, and it's going to take the longest amount of time. But you still need to do that step first, because everything else is going to be futile if you don't actually do that correctly, because this is your main goal with SEO as well as with the ads. You're trying to get to the point where you rank for these keywords without having to pay for them. Now, you can certainly supplement that and continue to pay for them, but if you can rank for them for free as well, that's the ultimate scenario. And so you need to optimize to try and get this traffic for free with this. And then number 4 is to expand organically, which is essentially SEO content strategy. And so what you do from here is once you've optimized everything for these, you're probably not going to rank for these immediately. So then you start trying to expand your traffic for both the purpose of topical authority to rank for these keywords and to get additional traffic in with info content. And so that would be on keywords like, for example, what are the best running shoes? Or, how do I find a good lawyer? Or something like these sort of question-based or informational-based things like guides versus keywords, things like that, where people are not necessarily looking to buy right now, but it is definitely on topic and they may eventually turn into a customer. And so essentially, if I was to draw this on a graph so you can see what I'm talking about, this is what you're trying to do. So what you're essentially doing when you start running the ads is you've got this sort of high intent center traffic there, which is like, let's go with the colors I used earlier. So this will be paid and the, let's say maps. So P/M, so paid/maps. This is going to be the highest intent traffic that you're trying to get right now, which is people looking right now for the thing that you're actually offering, and you're essentially going to have to pay for those clicks. And so this can also be shopping as well. So if you put /shopping, that can fall into that category as well. And then what you need to do beyond that is then you're also going to try and capture that with the SEO. So let's say we just do a circle. You're trying to capture that. And the reason I'm doing a circle around is because it's going to get bigger, because you're going to capture more traffic because you're expanding that circle, and now you're ranking twice with the paid, the map, and ideally with organic search results. So up to 3 times on the same keyword. And that's ultimately also why you want to do this, because you can rank essentially 2 or 3 times for the same keyword on the search result. Now, what happens from there is you actually start expanding out with the content SEO strategy. So this is the most high intent traffic, and then this would be also the most high intent traffic, and then it starts getting less and less intent. And then around this high intent traffic, you probably got like this big of a circle around it, let's say on average, generally speaking, which is more like info traffic that one day could potentially turn into this traffic. And so if you can capture this as well, it's not only going to increase your topical authority and boost your chances of ranking for these keywords, but eventually these people will turn into these people and will look for someone who is offering what you're offering, and ideally you want them to come to you. And so if you can catch them in the early stage as well with an informational piece of content, build trust, make them know your brand, etc., they're going to eventually turn into a paying customer or someone they know might they might share it with someone, whatever, and then that all builds up into the center circle and you start getting more of those through the informational content indirectly. So overall, that's basically the strategy where you're trying to take over every angle you possibly can on Google search, which is essentially paid, organic, and then like the maps or the shopping, and trying to get all of those different angles coming into your website in the center to try and convert those people into customers, because they're all people, all of these different angles are all people who have actually taken time out of their day to search for the thing that you're offering, and you want to try and sell them that thing because they obviously need it. So that's why you want to try and get all of these angles as possible, because then you get as much volume as you can through these different channels onto your website. And so basically that is the overview of how my Google domination strategy works and why I combine all these factors, because they get you the quick results, they get you the long-term growth, and basically overall you benefit until at the end where you're basically dominating every angle and it's very hard to keep up with you from a, let's say, a competitor's standpoint. So hope you guys enjoyed that one and you got the idea behind this. If you have any questions or comments about this, put them in the comments below and I will answer them. Otherwise, if you'd like me to apply this strategy to your business and get you more customers or clients, go to dominatemarketing.io and you can book a call with me there and I'll see if this will work for you. Otherwise, if you want me to coach you on how to do something like this, you can go to learndominatemarketing.com where I have a coaching program where I can coach you on how to apply this for your business. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Catch you on the next one.